Any concern about Crosby not having a contract in hand and signed by now?
No, there's no concern in it. However, the longer it goes on, and especially if we get into August, if we pass up his birthday and there's still no contract signed, expect that speculation to come right back. Because really it should have been done already. It should have been. I mean, everyone expected, before free agency opened, everyone expected that July 1st extension to be announced. And then a couple days after it was, oh, he's just letting Kyle Dubas work on the team, letting him focus on free agency, focus on any deals that need to get done. Okay, fine. That's understandable. He's Crosby. He's here anyway. It's not like he's not under contract. Then nothing came of it. Rob Rossi put out on July 8th, a week after the opening free agency, that a deal is close to being done. Something along those lines. Okay,
nearing a new deal, yes.
Nearing a new deal. And then for the next 2 days or so, it was the discussion of, okay, here's his legacy, here's this, that, the other. It has been radio silence ever since. Nothing else has happened. I'm not, again, like I said, I'm not saying there's anything to worry about, but we were told there's something close, and it's been 2 weeks. It's been a longer gap between being told there's something close than the opening of free agency to that update. So was it close, or what are we doing here? That's why I said I give it until after his birthday before the speculation ramps back up.
Yeah.
If we go into the season and there's nothing signed, I mean, look what Tampa just went through with Stamkos. I'm not comparing this at all, because like I said, there's nothing to worry about. But Tampa was going into the offseason. It'll get signed. He's in his last year. He's the captain. He's going to get signed. Going into camp, I mean, he had that fiery press conference, but there was still no worries. He's going to get signed. He's the captain. He's Tampa Bay. He's going to be here. And the whole season goes by. Still nothing. Are we doing something here? Nope. He's leaving in free agency. All right. So the comparison's going to be there. Just be ready if nothing is signed by August 8th.
Yeah, it's going to get really loud north of the border if he's not signed by the.
I wouldn't be shocked if he did in America too. I really wouldn't, if they care. But
we just had that entire conversation. But at the same time, it'll get louder up north than it will down here. But at the same time, it will be a story down here if he's not signed by the opening of training camp. Again, I'm not concerned. I'm a little confused as to what's holding this up. And we might never know the answer to that. But, we obviously went through everything 2 years ago with what the holdup was with Malkin and Letang, and, they don't value me. They don't think I'm good anymore. We saw all of that get thrown into the news. Crosby expectedly taking a different route here, very quietly. That's why I think everybody's curious as to, okay, it's July 23rd. You've been eligible for 3 weeks now. The excuses are fading away as to, all right, Kyle Dubas, while there's still work to be done, Kyle Dubas's docket is a lot more clear now than it was 3 weeks ago. You can knock out a deal that is considered to be, if you take all accounts into consideration, considered to be pretty simple, especially if he wants to, if his commitment to Pittsburgh, which was part of Rossi's thing, is this new contract is going to be a show of his commitment to the city of Pittsburgh and hockey in Pittsburgh of itself. If it's that simple, where's it at?
Yep.
Crosby can be at his cottage all he wants. Pat Brisson, this is Pat Brisson's regular season. This is Crosby's offseason, and Pat Brisson's the guy that's negotiating this, not Sidney Crosby. Obviously, you're going to make calls, but Crosby doesn't have to be in a boardroom, doesn't have to be at his desk. So what's holding things up? That's why I'm confused, not concerned.
And it's not like Crosby hasn't been in front of cameras a couple of times this offseason already, speaking about the Four Nations face-off. Hey, so what's going on with the contract? And asked directly about
anything.
And it's not going to, but he's going to say, I'm going to keep it as private as possible. Okay, that's cool. And then, I mean, there was no media, but he was then seen with the Canadian soccer team. I mean, seems to be doing stuff, seems to not be at his cottage. I think, well, there is e-sign these days. I mean,
yeah, it's not like he has to come to Pittsburgh to sign the deal. Although I'm sure Pittsburgh would like to have him in Pittsburgh to sign the deal to make a big PR thing about it. But at the same time, it's Crosby. He's been here for 20 years. I think we expect him to be here for the next 3 to close out his career, or 4, whatever it ends up being. So again, I'm not concerned about it because at the end of the day, whenever somebody asks me, do you think Crosby will finish his career in Pittsburgh? The answer has always been unequivocally yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little confused that it's taken this long to get that deal done. But hey, I'm not going to complain because we're going to need something to talk about in August.
Yeah, and I'm not concerned either. I think the concern will grow if training camp opens and there's nothing happening.
Yeah, I don't think it'll get that far.
No, but
again, I didn't think it'd get this far.
Right, but that's when the concern-o-meter will start ticking, is if training camp opens and there's nothing signed yet.
I need to make a graphic that goes in between us. That's the concern-o-meter.
The confusion-o-meter, though, is that thing is skyrocketing. That thing is off the charts because really, if it is, especially considering the rumored deal seems affordable. 3 years, $1 million at most. Dude, knock that out in a day. Come on, what are we doing?
There's no question. And the no movement clause is a prerequisite for this entire conversation.
Of course.
So, again, there's minutia to contracts that we don't always talk about. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Maybe he's trying to negotiate partial ownership. Who knows? Again, jokingly, you cannot negotiate that into an NHL contract. That would be unheard of. Other than Lemieux, but times have changed.
The Crosby memoir of this portion of his career, this couple month portion of his career is going to be nuts, really, because who knows what is going on behind the scenes.
You think he's going to release a memoir?
Someone's going to write
Somebody
something.
will write it.
If Rossi's writing the book on Malkin,
on Crosby,
someone's doing the Crosby one.
Someone's doing it. Maybe Brian Metzer. We'll throw that out there.
There you go.
Give it to Mets. We love Mets on this show.